Hey, all right. You are listening to the Tome podcast. I'm your host, MrDeadman. This is a show broadcast live from a trailer park deep in the heart of Meth County, Texas. Many people think I'm joking about that. They say, "Oh, MrDeadman, you don't live in a trailer park," but I do. There's a stream before where I took you guys on a tour of the trailer park. We met all the interesting people. We did. But anyway. And joining us tonight here is Mr. McKean, Jason D McKean. How's it going?
I'm doing great, Mr. Deadman. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, it is
Deadman's Tome.
No problem. It's great to have you in my collection of souls. What you don't know when you come on the show is you're gonna feel a strange feeling. You're gonna feel like an allegiance, like I don't know, like you can't escape me, you know?
Thank you for the warning.
I'm just messing. Can you imagine? That'd be messed up. No, but we were talking briefly like what does the tome mean, right? Deadman's tome. Am I collecting guests? I like that.
Yeah.
Collecting
guests for what? For what purpose?
I don't. If I was smarter about this, I would know. Harvesting their souls for some purpose. No, I just do it because I want to. That's just it. I'm crazy. I just do it because I want to. Anyway.
Do you have a basement there in your trailer? In the trailer park?
Well, yeah, I do, but I can't go into detail what's in it. I mean, I could, but my attorney is advising me that I shouldn't. But there is a basement. But everything's fine. You don't need to come looking down. You don't need to do a welfare check at anything. We're good. Definitely no bodies there. You're not gonna find Brian Keene there or Joe Lansdale there. No, we're good. Can you imagine? All right, now Kybus, the co-host in training, should be joining us hopefully sometime soon. We'll see. But no problem if he doesn't. It's fine. No drama on the show. I'm doing a policy, no drama. I like that. Anyway, Mr. McKean, I go with one question with all my guests from the beginning. Who are you and what do you do? And we take it from there. So, let's go.
All right. So I am a wizard. And what does that mean? Because
A wizard?
a wizard. Yes.
A wizard. Okay.
Yes, I want you to post my photo.
I will. I will post your photo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He's a wizard.
let me get that ready.
And, what does that entail, right? Because I get asked a lot of the times by people, are you a white wizard? Are you a black wizard? Are you a gray wizard? Like they confuse it with like these wizards that they see in Lord of the Rings or the King Arthur legends or
Final
Harry
Fantasy?
Potter.
I mean, I play
Final Fantasy. Yeah. And it's like, am I, throwing all these lightning bolts out my hands and all that at people? It's like, no, I'm not that kind of wizard, because I work with the tarot, and that is my medium, my modality for it's my work in the world, and it's a form of spiritual counseling for people, and so. On the magician's card in the tarot, there's a maxim, a saying that says, "As above, so below." And so I'm the wizard that adheres to that maxim, "As above, so below," so that one is a conduit for being connected to the divine in how one manifests that their actions, their desires, how they put that into reality. So it's about if you say that you are a certain type of person, that you act as if you are that person, that you are that person in the world. You don't like say one thing and then do another. And that is like maybe a little less exciting, right, than if I were to shoot like lightning bolts out my hands. But I am a healer. It's like my name, Jason. It means healer in Greek, just like Deadman.
I did not know that. Jason means healer in Greek.
Yeah. It's
Look
like
at that.
It's like my parents like gave me a heady title right from the get-go, right? I didn't know it until later in life,
So
because I've gone through a lot of stuff, a lot of experiences, from being in a punk rock band to creating spiritual music to uh, like being in publishing, and an artist in some all kinds of areas, from horror to self-help to new age, and now with the tarot, it's like, I hear everything from everybody, and nothing shocks me, nothing surprises me, but I do feel, for people's they're suffering in life, because there's a lot of it.
I hear you on that. There is definitely a lot of suffering, but
Yeah.
and I like what you're saying too, because I mean, definitely, if people followed what you're talking about, I mean, there'd be less hypocrites for one. People would actually be more genuine and truthful, being honest. But I do like the fact that you're not shooting lightning bolts from your hands, because that just means you'd be like on the dark side, right? Like a bad wizard.
I don't know that I would. I mean, there's a temptation always, right? If you're at Trader Joe's or so, and someone is upsetting you in the frozen food section,
Yeah, you got a Karen in front
and
of you. You got a Karen in front of you that wants to ask why her discount didn't go through. Be like, bitch, move out the lane. Who cares about your discount? It's my turn to check out. I'm just messing. I'm messing.
I have a friend. I have a friend named Karen who hates that
I
now
bet she
Karen
does.
is the word for like a Karen.
I bet
keep
she
seeing
does.
comments pop up like that online, like, can you please stop doing that? I know someone named Karen. This is so horrible.
I bet she does. I'll get it back when one day Jesse becomes a thing, and it probably will. One day it will happen.
Right? It's going to cycle around to where, oh my God, what a Jesse.
What a Jesse! Oh my God, that should be the thing. What a Jesse!
The Ken's the one right now to the
Ken's?
the alternate to the Karen. Yeah, Ken.
Ken's. But see, I get that, but Ken sounds kind of strong. Jesse, well, I'm just about to insult my name. It is what it is. Jesse doesn't sound like a strong name. Jesse sounds like who is this guy? He's like kind of friendly, kind of too soft, maybe. Jesse, what a Jesse!
Is it because it's both a woman's name and a man's name?
I don't know. Maybe it is that. I don't know. But it's just the way it sounds. The J-E, Jesse. It's just like kind of soft, right? It's not like a Karen, like a Ken. A Karen definitely sounds more dominant than a Jesse.
Right. Well, I mean, as a Jason, I'm not going to say anything about that, because it's pretty close to Jesse. And,
Yeah.
But Jason is
But
just mostly, one association with Jason and the Argonauts. I got that a lot when I was growing up.
We got the hockey mask going for you.
I see, because the hockey mask, that was like was that the late 70s, early 80s?
Mm-hmm.
So
Jason Voorhees. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get that until maybe after like I graduated from high school, but definitely it was like Jason and the Argonauts. That was and
Right.
what's wrong with that? Because he was cool, and he was like in a Harryhausen fantasy. So
So let's dig deeper about this wizard thing, because how did you become a wizard?
well, that's a great question, because it wasn't like I was aspiring to it as a young kid. Let's start here, right? Because when I was younger, most youth, they will be playing sports and all that. And yeah, I had my share of sports. I was actually a state champion in California
In
when I was
football?
a young kid. Track
Okay.
and field. And but I was kind of a loner, and so I would also be someone who designed beards. I had like notebooks that were full of different like beard designs, and I was very much into stage makeup, and so I would glue a lot of beards on, and so I knew one day that I would be that guy who had a beard, and it's like, lo and behold, it's like my beard's about 2 feet long. I did measure it one day, and
Oh, wow.
and from like the top of like around the ear down to my belly button, it's like 2 feet, and so it's like, you know what, I'm happy. This is like this is good.
That is a magnificent
And
beard. That is like a Gandalf beard right there.
it just stops though. It just stops growing. It doesn't like grow any further, and that's a blessing. It's like the guy who had the longest beard in the Guinness Book of World Records. It was down to the ground. He tripped on it, broke his neck. That doesn't seem like like that's an asset. It's more a liability if it's that long. So along with being interested in beards, I was also interested in magic, and
Like-
I was the
Okay, now I just have to ask. When you say Magic, you mean like Magic the Gathering, like the card game, or you mean like Magic, like Wizard, like real Magic?
D&D.
Like, yeah, D&D.
Yeah, it wasn't like the movie with Anthony Hopkins and Corky, the ventriloquist. It wasn't that magic.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Real
that's a
stuff.
great movie. It was the tricks, all right, the magic tricks,
Ah, Magic tricks. Okay.
the creating an illusion. I mean, I'm 11, and I wanted to perform magic for birthday parties and holiday parties, and so I was pretty adept at it. I was good at it, and a little bit of ventriloquism there as well, and so that was kind of the basis, right, of where one is like starting down that road of becoming the wizard. But I got sidetracked. Because
Girls.
no,
Our guys.
no, it was music.
Music. Are you a King Diamond fan?
Not familiar.
You're not. Oh, you're not. Oh my God. What have you?
King Diamond.
What
about
have
Neil
you,
Diamond?
Neil Diamond, absolutely. Solitary Man. Yeah.
There you go.
Who's
My
King
man.
Diamond? Are they like a knockoff of Neil Diamond?
King Diamond is he's the real deal. He's a real Satanist. I mean, he is a Satanist, but he is like the original Ozzy, kind of like around that time. Like him and Ozzy kind of started around the same. They say King Diamond inspired Ozzy, but either way.
Well, when you say Satanist, was he a theistic, like, or Luciferian, or some crazy Illuminati nut, or what?
Oh no, not Illuminati, but I don't really know. It's more like
probably
a
probably
philosophy.
theistic.
Yeah,
He's probably theistic. Yeah.
But just the makeup. But one of the images you showed me here, it's just that the face painting, all that. It looks very King Diamond-ish right there. He's a rock star.
Are you looking at the one painting or a picture of me where I'm in front of the Queen Mary?
I'm not exactly sure what you're in front of, but you're wearing a red outfit, and you have a white makeup on and a black eyeliner with some black makeup, looks like lightning bolts or something, or wrinkles, scars in your face.
It's not wrinkles. I don't have wrinkles.
I don't think
Because
so.
it,
Wizards don't
that.
age. Wizards shouldn't age like that.
Right?
They have good skin.
Sure
Not
to,
until you get past 500.
Screen share with me, JC, if you would, please, because
I will.
I can't even bring up my Chrome. My computer's all out of whack.
Okay.
Sorry it took me. That's why I was late.
It's okay.
Computer's
It's okay.
being
Hi,
funky.
Kindness.
It's okay.
Hello,
Hey,
sir. Nice to finally talk to you audibly. By the way,
Absolutely.
make your acquaintance. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. So I can see me now. Am I really about? It looks like I'm about 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Is that just it's squashed?
Yeah.
That's just it's stretched. It's stretched to fit the screen.
Okay.
We made you.
And those-
You're not Gandalf. You're
And
Gimli.
afterwards, those listening on the podcast were like, "What image are they talking about?" It's like, I'll share it. I'll put it on the Facebook or page or whatever. You guys can see it. It's a cool image though. I do like it. Anyway,
So let me talk about that image just for a second,
Okay.
because it's not music related. It's actually the background there is the Queen Mary, which is the ship that is permanently docked in Long Beach Harbor, and it was built in the 30s, I think, by the White Star Line, or what became of the White Star Line after the Titanic sank, and it's just there. It was decommissioned or whatever in the late 60s, and so it's really old. It's haunted, and that's part of the Dark Harbor, which is a Halloween haunt that takes place over about 30 days. You know, the end of September all the way to Dia de los Muertos in November, and so I read tarot inside the belly of the Queen, and it's just an amazing experience. But we're all, you know, that I don't normally wear that type of intensive makeup, and I think it's a bikini. I think that's what that's called. That cloth, the almost like a woman's dress or a muumuu. It's just fit the occasion there, and it was comfortable.
I will
think,
say, it does look kind of like one of the Spanish dresses that my daughter wears, but I wasn't gonna shame you for that.
Thank
But I did
Thank
just
you.
bring that
Has
up.
a beard.
as a wizard, you know, it's like I have my robes. I have my Indian kurtas, you know, these ceremonial, like they're very ornate gowns, men's gowns that are beaded and embroidered and all, and it's just like it's really they're comfortable, and one feels the part. It's important to dress for the person that you are, the job that you have in the world.
So when you say you're a wizard, like, I'm sure you get some reactions from the public, right? Because do you just tell people, "Yeah, I'm a wizard"?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, again, on my journey to being able to state that in a public manner. It wasn't like just an easy go-to. It wasn't an easy identity just to talk about in front of, you know, just anybody. And it came about, you know, part of it too is like, you know, my ability to just kind of jump in and do something. You know, I'm not a very good student in the traditional sense where I go to classes and learn something. It's just like, if I need to know something, I'll dive in and I will learn it. And I've run, you know, a publishing company. I've been an art director. I've you know, produced more than 50 albums of all different types of you know, music and meditations, programming. It's like my albums are listened to worldwide, the Om chant albums, and but I've you know, I've been a punk rocker. You know, I was there in Austin in the mid '80s. There, we were opening for bands like the Butthole Surfers and
Oh wow,
and
okay.
DOA, and
Right.
you know, it's like we had like a real, you know, energy going forward with it, and yet, you know, it's like one is as a creative person, I've always had a vision of kind of what I wanted to move towards next, and that led me into you know, self-producing many albums of differing kinds, of doing soundtracks for low-budget horror movies. There's a great one, and actually, you know, my friend who created it, he just passed away like last week, and his name Mike Murphy. He created a low budget horror film called Machine Head, and not to be confused with the Deep Purple.
Oh,
or,
there's also
or the band. I'm sure there's a band called Machine Head too.
Mm-hmm.
But the premise is, you know, a high school outcast mad scientist type. He brings alive a corpse using a computer and a lawnmower engine, and so you know, this engine is strapped onto this guy's shoulder, and with the help of a friendly Mac, you know, it like brings the guy to life, and you know, the adventure ensues there, the mayhem, you know. It's a lot of fun. It's very low budget. You know, if you're a fan of low budget horror, then it's a fun watch. And it was done about the beginning part of 2000, and he asked me if I could create like a Danny Elfman-esque soundtrack, and I said sure, absolutely. And that's one of these things that makes me a wizard, right? Is that, you know, without having the background in it, I'll just say absolutely, I can do that. And you know, I pulled it off very, very well. And so the soundtrack still stands up as far as like being very very accomplished, you know, for the movie that it was made for.
Okay.
And
so I think I'm getting this. I think I'm understanding this. Because when people think wizard, they think like they do think Lord of the Rings. They do think like casting spells and stuff like that. But it sounds like, yeah, you're able to do stuff like very well, like researching it and able to just do it and do it well like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To be able to, like, I've created rock albums. I've created soundtrack albums, classical music albums. You know, without any like formal training. And you know, part of my creed with myself is that I just give myself that permission to do so. And in the like 10 years ago or so, it's like I had an opportunity to be a tarot reader, to become a psychic, and so I just dove into it, jumped into it. Any chance that I had to read, it was a neighborhood party or an event that was taking place, I would show up and then offer my services, and that led to me working in a store in Los Angeles, and then just kind of taking off from there, you know, and just starting with reading, and then, you know, taking on a couple of students, and then doing my own radio show, and becoming a teacher. You know, now it's all on Zoom, but I was traveling up to Seattle and Portland, and went over to Las Vegas to do classes. So I was like sticking to the West Coast with plans to, like, you know, with opportunities that could come up in other states and all that. It's like, absolutely, say yes, and then figure it out as you go. And you know, it's like, what I do is not brain surgery, it's not rocket science, so it's not like where, you know, you're sitting behind the controls of a DC-10 saying, you know what, I can figure this out as I go. It's more where it's you know, I know the basics of it.
Not an X-Men wizard.
What's that?
Oh, I said you're not an X-Men wizard. It'd be pretty sweet to be able to do that, right? Jump in a tank or a jet and just do
yeah,
do it automatically.
Just figure it out, right?
Yeah,
just on the fly. Yeah, I feel that you know, most things in life, you know, one doesn't have like a real instruction book for anyway, and when you tap into your own soul, your own spirit, and you don't just use your head, but you use a deeper part of yourself, that you're accessing this information that helps you move through all of these experiences that will come up. And so, I've given myself permission to make films. I'm part of like a very small part of Star Trek, because of a film that I made that became a part of the 40th anniversary of Star Trek there in the Las Vegas convention.
What film?
It's a parody film, and it's called Grease Trek. And it was one that me and my brother conceived, and it was at the time that they weren't doing the feature films, and so there was like a real hunger for just anything that was kind of original Star Trek.
Did you ever?
And so we.
Oh, I was asking because there's this thing called Star Trek Continues. Did you ever work on that?
No.
Oh.
No, but I preferred Star Trek Continues to the feature films, actually. I thought they did a great job.
I mentioned that
just
because
keeping the flavor.
Vic Mignogna was on that.
I think I'd watched that.
Vic Mignogna was on that, and I used to reference that guy a lot. He's a voice actor that the industry kind of turned on him. But you don't know who Vic Mignogna is, do you? Do you know who he is? Vic Mignogna?
I don't know who that is. No.
It's okay.
I know who it is.
Oh, you know who he is?
Yeah.
Not to turn the show into him, but like, have you had any bad interactions with Vic Mignogna?
I've never met him.
Okay.
I know who he is.
You know who he is?
But
okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay. I know it might seem like I'm going down the left field here, but on this channel I used to reference him quite a bit with his anime stuff. He was outed. He's not outed. He was targeted for some bull crap. They try to smear him, whatever. It's a whole other thing. Geez. But sure. One thing I wanted to say, listen to you, is that there's a lot of people, myself included, who kind of learn things on the fly through watching YouTube videos, or like, I'm not a carpenter by any means, but I learn how to do stuff on the fly by watching YouTube videos and practicing skills. Does that make me a wizard, or is there a spiritual element to it?
Well, there's definitely a spiritual element to it, right? But it is about the, how well you do something, right? If you're accessing yourself, like let's say you want to be an artist, right? And at the end of the day, it's like you're just creating stick figure drawings. Then maybe wizard isn't the best way to advertise yourself.
I think I get it. A wizard would be
You're not
like,
a carpenter wizard.
Oh my god! I think I get this now. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm reflecting back, and like, there's always that kid, there's always that person who's really good at just about everything and anything, without very little experience. And I'm like, motherfucker, how the hell did you do that? And I look at, in recent examples, I look at my neighbor and stuff. He's like, YouTube videos, man. Just watch YouTube videos. I'm just like, there's a little bit more than that, man.
There is a little bit more to it, but it's about an ability to just place yourself into something and to excel at it. It's like, when I made this film for this Star Trek parody, it's like it took me 3 years to make it. I thought I was just making something for fun that was going to be 10 minutes long, but it ended up being 45 minutes long. And I created all the special effects for it, because it was all shot blue screen, so I had to create the whole environment for it. And I created the sound effects, all original. The music was all original, and edited. Just put it all together, and then there was no home for it, and my brother said, hey, let's just send it to the conventions, and so he did. And Adam, who runs creation, that's hilarious to me, when I say that, because Adam Malin there, who runs Creation Entertainment, who does the fan conventions. He loved it. He loved it, and so we set it up for a showing in Los Angeles, and then the 40th anniversary. So I was on the stage with the same stage that Nimoy and Shatner and all these guys like shared. And then a few years later, I was invited to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they had this huge Star Trek convention in Tulsa, and one of my greatest like moments was stepping on a plane in Los Angeles, and there was Leonard Nimoy in the first class. There was John Delancey. There was like a bunch of other actors, and then all these like Battlestar Galactica. I was sitting next to Phil Morris, Greg Morris's son, on the plane, and then it was like a tour bus. And we flew into Tulsa, and then I presented the movie, and it was like a really great time. It was like the pinnacle of that. But I didn't plan it. All right, it's just like because at the time that I was doing the thing, when I was creating the movie, I put my all into it, and that like. The level was enough to where, people could enjoy it, and now it's because DVD is no longer really a thing. It's on Amazon,
right?
Amazon Prime, Grease Track.
Okay. Now on the wizard thing, Kybus, do you have any other questions about the wizard thing?
the wizard thing.
it's a big topic. I mean,
wizard thing.
You think wizard? I'm like, is he saying wizard, or does he mean he's a wizard? Because
wait. What else is? I mean, people can get stuck. Because of the spell work. I mean, every night. I am doing spell work. Where I'm looking to.
Okay, let's talk about that. Like, are we talking about like nature magic, like meditation? Like, what are we talking about?
It's funny because meditation. I think anything can be a meditation, right? Something that you focus in on. But it's I also use qigong, which is where one gathers qi that's around them, and then you see the practitioners. It looks like they have this invisible ball in front of them, and they're like moving that ball, and about the size of a basketball or so in front of them, and that's just chi that one gathers, and then you plant intention into that seed of energy in front of you, and then you release it, and I do that every night, and it's to create opportunities, so that I can be on this path of being a wizard and being of service. It's like most of the stuff that I do, most of the activities that I do are reading for people, helping people through difficult situations.
Okay.
And we're also, there's lots of ways to keep it interesting too. Because
Okay.
if I were just reading for people, that would be it would be a lot, right? But because I teach, because I go out on and do radio shows and as a guest and a host, it's like it keeps it very flexible and fun, and I love meeting new people.
I like doing
I
that
do
too.
the
That's why I do
metaphysics
this.
thing.
The metaphysics. We'll
So-
definitely get into that.
That was a question that okay. Well, I'll save that question when we get into metaphysics.
Okay. Because it's
What?
curious. So how has your I guess your magic and meditation, how has it helped other people? Like, how have you used it to help other people?
With the tarot, it's one that I do miss the live interaction with people, because I haven't seen clients in person since March, but I usually bring them into the process. I have them choose cards. I have them active in it, because it signals their own spirit that they're involved, that they have like a spiritual self that when they're choosing cards that are really relevant to their life, and we're talking about them, that it opens up something for them, so that they're able to see themselves in perhaps a different light. It's like when we're in a problem situation, it's like if we're able to step out of ourselves a little bit, not be so in a fearful place or so, and have more of an overview, then we're able to see our way forward just that much easier. And so, I don't feel that I'm doing the work for someone. I'm not casting a spell on someone and saying, okay, you're healed, go about your life. It's about where someone has a moment of clarity for themselves and the direction that they can go in, and they activate it, because that's where power is.
Now, do you have a spell that can help me with my finances? Because I would love to have more money. I'm sure you get that joke quite a bit. I'm
You
sure.
have winning lottery numbers,
right?
We could our hands on. DM me.
You know what? I would be cheating you of your own experience.
Oh, please, please, Mr. McKean,
it's like, cheat me.
McKean, cheat
Please,
me from my
cheat me.
experience. I'm looking for a cheat in life. You can be like, Mr. Deadman, join the long line of clients that have been asking that for a long time. But
yeah, I'm not kidding.
I'm looking for that cheat, sir.
It's like join the long list of people who have won the lottery and then lost everything because they.
I'll keep that money. I'll tell my family, fuck off. It's my money. That's what they make the mistake. They spread their money too far. It's my money. My money. Don't touch it.
Just everyone, right, comes in and says, you know what? I've always been your friend.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. My money. My money. It's all my money.
No, it's like you were never on my show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you refused to. So this is payback time.
I'll give Joe Lansdale a few thousands before I give you a cent. I don't even know Joe.
I'm sure he would take.
I'm sure he would take it.
He would just, what? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dead.
He would. Oh, man. Okay, but you get that a bit. I mean, what about other things like is there health benefits to the magic and the meditation? Especially now with
definitely.
COVID. Especially now with COVID stuff. I mean, like, is there health benefits? Is there something that people could maybe practice at home too? I don't know.
Definitely the meditation. You know what I started doing, Mr. Deadman and Kybus, his loyal sidekick. I started doing an Om gathering on Zoom where
nice.
we play my album Om Eternity in the background, and then we turn off everyone's mic because Zoom is a terrible platform for maintaining a solid voice frequency.
Yeah.
It's like it if someone has a louder voice, that takes precedence, and everything else gets drowned out, and it just becomes clippy, and it's awful. So I just turn everyone's sound off. I just play the music, and we just kind of look at each other. We all have like the O formation in our mouth, because we're all just oming. It's not that we all look like like sex dolls or anything with that O, but it's kind of where everyone just is left to do their own thing, right? And that vibration, after about a half an hour of it, that vibration of intoning the Om, it leaves you high. It's like smoking a really good cigar, where you just it takes you into another level of the stratosphere afterwards, and it's natural, and there's actually good lung exercise as well. So during the COVID time, if keeping strong lungs, that's important. At my age, at 300, it's definitely good lung exercise to do that. But I've gotten letters just consistently over the years about how people have healed themselves, how they've been in places of healing crisis, and they've listened to the ohms on a regular basis, and they've been able to calm themselves. They've been able to relax themselves into letting their body do the work of healing.
Hmm.
And absolutely, I've had energetic healers who've worked on me, who've uh, they've I'll have like a persistent nagging, like pulled muscle or something, and I've had something that I've had for like a month, and it's just nagging, and it's just like, please do something, I've had it go away instantly because they've done their thing, and it's just energetic. um, it absolutely can help.
Hmm. That's a good benefit. Have you seen signs like if people meditate, it actually helps? I don't know what it would be in their bodies, like if it helps them fight off disease, or does it help them prepare for? I don't know. Like, does it help their health really?
I think what it does is it adds like a sometimes with the qigong, what I'll do for myself,
Mm.
it's I will visualize, like if I have a what's a good example that I do sometimes, if I have like indigestion or something,
Yeah. Okay.
it, I've eaten too much, and it's just like and I am not going to take like a Prilosec or you know uh, what's like an Alka-Seltzer or something like that.
Yeah. I know what you
It's
mean.
like
I get that.
it's
So
like one can envision like like an etheric body or an auric body that is like energy that's above like the place that is physically hurting. And if you see it as like all like bright blue, let's say, and then where it's over the spot that's hurting, it might be uh, cloudy or murky or
Mm.
like darker or something that would indicate where there's an issue. It's like you can energetically like pull that out,
Gotta
and
ask.
and
I
then
gotta. Is there science behind this too? I mean, is this just like a spiritual thing that you just gotta believe, or is there science behind
well,
this?
there's well, they're they've done some stuff with like auric pictures, right? And there's you could get certified as a Reiki healer.
hmm
Um,
hmm
so it's totally a legitimate thing, and that's kind of where we were gonna say something about metaphysics. With the whole thing, I do the metaphysics thing as well in a different manner. So, but we'll get into that
why
later
can't we
on.
talk
But,
about it now?
Oh, we can do it now.
well, we can talk about it now.
We can do it
Sure.
now.
Um, so I was wondering what your aspect on, because I do the vampirism thing, or to the layman practice vampirism.
hmm
Um, Even though still I look at it as a natural thing, because I still come from a Judeo-Christian standpoint. Um, so I've heard some light workers or people that are kind of like in the same genre as you. So like, how do you view vampirism, like, as like it runs in my family, people that have to feed or whatnot. I was just kind of curious. That was one question I had for you.
Uh-huh. Um, I may not be as familiar with it, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Because it's out of I don't personally, like
Right.
if I'm understanding as far as
Well,
like
briefly,
is there like drinking blood?
well, some people do, and then other people, they do the metaphysics thing. I do both. I do beef blood,
When
but I do
you
I
say
do
the metaphysics thing, because you look at
like
Christianity.
psychic feeding,
Right.
or like giving someone a massage, and that was a point I was gonna make too. That it kind of balances out with some people that are, like my wife. She's highly empathic, like I am, but she's the opposite of where she has the high energy, right? Where it's too much, where she gets like the headaches and stuff. So it kind of balances out. It's like a it's a nature thing. Of course, I don't think I'm thousands of years old or something kooky,
Right.
but
Well, if I do like some kind of past life regression, it's like our soul is eternal, right? As far as like the memories that we access when one goes through a past life regression are they can go back to energetic forms, not just physical forms, but where it's like that old nursery rhyme, right, where about Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, right? And so it's like having a perfect partnership where if someone has too much energy and you're able to siphon that off and to help yourself to that, then
right.
that's like that's a true complementary partnership.
Right. Because in more, realistic terms, people that consider themselves to be vampiric, or, we kind of act as a balance to some people like that. So that's, I was curious what you thought of that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like the overall like metaphysical viewpoint of balance, right? Balance in the universe. I feel that part of my being a wizard and all is there's aspects of the alchemist in that, and one does look for balance in one's like spiritual life, that one isn't too spiritual and that they're not too physical either, that they balance it out, they complement it, so that one is not, it doesn't take on like this holier than thou type of attitude within themselves, that they
Right.
are earthy, that they enjoy a good meal, a good cigar, a good drink. If these things are within your if you're wired for it, that you can take it and enjoy it.
So
There's
for the nuts and bolts sort of guys or ladies that listen to this, what exactly is like metaphysics? Like I'm hearing this, I'm like, okay, so like I guess the spiritual, I don't know about the spiritual, but like,
Well,
let's say the
think of
energy.
it like you have your soul, and you have a spirit body, but we have like our bodies basically have like what would you say, Jason, like a field of energy, basically, that even people like that aren't, whatever, we talk about vampiric people on the show and stuff, that like, say us talking right now, that's an energy exchange. Or people have doing a handshake, or when people have sex or kiss, whatever. Those are simple examples. And then there's more complex stuff, like he's talking about, like the energy ball thing. I used to annoy my wife with that, like make energy balls and throw them
Energy
on her
balls.
legs, and they splash. And she's like, "Would you please stop? Like, please quit."
I'm hearing this, but I don't even know.
Sensitive to those subtle
I got to be
energies.
honest with you
So,
guys. Not really sure what an energy ball is, but I'm hearing this.
well, think Dragon Ball Z, but like way reduced. Not something that you could,
Yeah.
but you can put intent into those things, and like, okay, do something good with it. Somebody could obviously, do something bad with it. I mean, I've had people act weird on a bus, and I kind of start to do a subtle energy drain, like, okay, you need to, move away. You're weird.
I mean, I get that there's an element that's hard to explain as far as like feeling other feels us, if that makes any sense.
Well, a
Feeling
lot of it's based
other
on
feelings.
breath.
Like
I'm more prone to say metaphysics than Jason would say chi, and that's fine. It boils down to the same thing going on. A lot of it has to do with the breath, breathing, concentration, mental. But part of it is too, JC, is that, is that not everybody can perceive that stuff. So, but it is a very real thing. For a long time in the vampire community, sanguinarians or the strictly, blood feeding vamps did not recognize size or hybrid that are, kind of a boosted version of both or whatever. So, it's just it is kind of a hard thing to explain, but there is a sense to it. There is a physical feeling to,
Mhm.
or that you're feeling like your,
Okay.
your
So
subtle
let
body
me ask you.
over.
Let me ask you. Let me put it this way: if I were to do like louder crowd or change my view, metaphysics doesn't exist.
Change my mind.
Okay, change my mind.
I
Metaphysics
could
doesn't
prove to
exist.
you.
Go.
I can prove to you.
All right, prove it.
Well, not here over the thing. If I was in physical vicinity with someone, well, I've shown people before though.
No,
Or Jason, I'm sure
how
could
about Mr.
give some
McKean?
kind of.
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
Change my mind.
So
Talk nerd.
what did you say you were?
Metaphysics doesn't
Oh,
exist. Change my mind.
Change my mind.
I'm the basic guy here. I'm the basic nuts and bolts guy. Metaphysics doesn't exist. Change my mind.
Right. Yeah, it's not something that one has to believe in order for it to
That's a good
take
point. Yeah.
take effect. As far as as an example, it's like I've read like thousands of people, right? And it's like the connections that I've had with people, and how I guess I would define metaphysics or something is just kind of like like kind of out of the realm of physics, or where there's like another layer that maybe is more tapping into something that is more spiritual, right?
Another way you could say it too is instead of saying supernatural, you say preternatural is another good way to, describe it. I think,
Mhm.
anyways.
Paranatural.
Yeah. So I've been one who has like I was raised in a religious environment, and then I rejected it totally, and then kind of started from scratch again, and then worked in metaphysics, and that was a good sound effect.
Thank you. That's this. I'm enjoying this scotch.
I was gonna
Yeah, I
say,
know. It's you popped open a bottle there.
I need to. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get into metaphysics. I'm trying to get into
We need to
metaphysics.
hear like the full like of the liquid pouring in the glass, and then
I didn't hold the glass to
right.
the headset.
Damn it!
I think I'm following you guys. Okay, as a basic guy
So-
here, let me here. McKean, help me out here.
all right, Ken.
Okay. So the feeling I get from a good cigar, and I notice you've been referencing that because I smoke cigars. I don't know if you do, but I definitely do. I do get something from it. It is weird. Like I never smoked cigarettes. I don't really care for it, whatever. But cigars, I gotta tell you, like after I'm done with one, actually while smoking one, it's like I'm calm. I'm
come
chill.
on,
I'm chill as a motherfucker. I'm good. Like I
that's
can.
stuff in the tobacco.
Yeah. But you could explain that as like a metaphysics point of view, or it's like
No.
isn't the nicotine kind of like
No.
messing with me, like
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
nicotine.
like the glass of scotch, it's like the alcohol is kind of like chilling me out a little bit,
Well, think of it this way.
Hold on,
it's like-
Kivas, we can hear from
Oh,
you,
go-
or we
go
can hear
ahead.
from a wizard. I'm sorry, the wizard trumps.
All right, go ahead,
vampires.
Jason.
So
No
this
offense,
is what I like to talk about, like in my classes and all that, is the aspect of purpose, right? Is where when we're born, it's like, you know, we may have like a sense of our own, not just importance, but where, you know, we want to utilize our gifts and make our own mark in life, and be fulfilled, right? And I feel that that's kind of where the soul comes in, and you know, that is like hard to define, right? As far as like, you know, where is that sense of purpose within you, even if they, you know, look at the brain. And you know, one has to look at their own life to see the progress, to see you know, all the experiences that you've had, and if they're adding up to something, right? If at any time, you know, you say, you know what, I want to be this person, you know, it's like, what makes you want to do a podcast other than that you have a cool last name?
So like motivation. So like what really motivates you?
But it's that spark inside, right? It's when that spark is inside, and you're excited, right? It's like, you know what, I get to do this. This is fucking cool. And then to you know, enact it, right? To not just have a desire that is just lingering inside of you, but to act upon it, and to you know, bring it into the physical. You know, because I feel that we're both spiritual beings, but we're physical beings too. And and when we're in a place of when we're in sync with these aspects of ourselves, then we have less hang-ups. We have less obstacles, less blocks that are keeping us from doing the things that again, where we feel like that we have meaning.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this is something we brought up in the chat by Cool Tactic. He's been a supporter of this channel and the show. Is there a recorded example of metaphysics that we can kind of point to?
I mean, it's a pretty broad term.
I know.
You know, of metaphysics.
Yeah.
You know, there are you know, past life like aspects where there have been you know, people who've gone under in a hypnotic state, and they've recalled lives and stuff like that they shouldn't have like a recollection of, but they do those. There are some of those in history. You know, if we look at you know, like ghost encounters and all, and I'm not talking about like ones from the TV shows that are on there, but you know, real solid ones. You know, there are ones that have been documented where, and I've again, you know, I've worked on the Queen Mary, which is haunted. I've heard my name being called, where there was no one who was saying it, right? But as clear as day.
I got some pictures for you, JC. I'm gonna look at your messenger. Go ahead,
Okay.
JC.
And I also, you know, it's like from my experiences of reading people, you know, it's like I was reading one couple once, and a woman, she was asking me, you know, should I be a teacher? You know, is this my best destiny? And we had the cards there, and I had her boyfriend choose the card, and it's like a lot of pressure, right? And like the boyfriend, it's like, you know, to like pinpoint that, but he pulled the one card in the deck that had a classroom setting where there's a teacher and 4 students on it, and so that was like a really strong sign, right, for her. We switched up where I was then reading him. I had her pick a card for him that was like a significant card, and she pulled the same exact card that he had pulled for her, and it had like another meaning to it. And when you have experiences like that are just kind of over and over and over and over, right? I had a woman who, thought she was like being followed by a demon.
A demon.
Yeah, and she showed me a photo, and it looked like there was like this kind of more the classic, devil with a goatee type of profile that was like superimposed on one half of her face. And I mean, I'm a Photoshop guy. It's like that's not too hard. But if things happen just kind of naturally like that, it's like, whoa, that's kind of spooky. But we got interrupted in the reading because her dog escaped from her car, and was like running down the middle of the street. And it's like that's never happened before, right? And it's like you think of people who are plagued, by negative energy. It's like, yeah, I mean, I've seen it, and
Yeah.
it's like that realm, right? It can feel like it's you're not able to explain it away, right? Just from, well, you're just born under a bad sign, or you're it's just a chemical thing, right? It's like energetically, and if one knows about like past lives and things that we're looking to kind of heal or kind of change up, and so that one can not just live in patterns that can be, really, really quite, either detrimental or, where we feel like we're not making progress at all.
Now, I want to
You know what?
I want to get into the
Can I
past life
can I
thing.
just say one thing too?
Yes.
Before that,
Sure.
what's kind of fun synchronicity? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
My birthday is August 6th.
Okay.
What's
And
the synchronicity?
according to Facebook, that's your birthday.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Okay.
Mr. Deadman birthday. It is. It. I lose track of that. Everything has to be ambiguous, coded in so much ambiguity that I even forget what it is anymore. Yes, August 6th is my birthday. That's right. Online trolls.
You know what? And I'm not the one who gives out my social security number and all that, but August 6th is my birthday. It's the day that the U.S. dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
It is.
And it's like a few years ago. It's like my wife, she's Japanese. She was asked to be a translator between President Truman's grandson and a survivor. Is actually the brother of Sadako Sasaki, who is has statues and stuff like all over the world to her, because she's became the poster child there for the suffering there in Hiroshima after the bomb was dropped.
Holy
and
shit.
and so she they're having these dedication of paper. Well, they're cranes. They're the little folded paper cranes, the origami cranes, that she folded like 1,000 of them, and they're all over the world. They're at Pearl Harbor. They're in New York City at the one of the World Trade Center memorials, and so they're very famous. These cranes that she created,
Wow.
and it was her brother who's now in his 70s. She was translating. My wife was translating between Truman's grandson and Masahiro Sasaki, and for these dedications at these museums in Los Angeles and all. So that kind of synchronicity, it's like that date has a very significant effect for me. I've been to Hiroshima. I've been to the memorial. I've been to the A-bomb dome there, and it's so so one can be in sync with their life, right? One can kind of transcend just coincidence and be in a place of full synchronicity with their life.
Gotcha.
And that I feel would be like spiritual. If one just takes the word spirituality out of it and just uses the word connection, being connected to your life, so that you see the meaning to who it is that you are, who it is that you need to be in life. That's part of the metaphysical path that is important to me.
Now, one thing I definitely want to dig into here is the tarot reading. We kind of hinted at that earlier, and also the past life stuff, past life regression. We'll get into that too. But the tarot reading, like, how accurate are these tarot cards? Because a lot of people can just look at them and be like, "Oh, it's just cards, bro. It's no big deal." But what is it? Like,
Did you have something to say, Kybus?
Oh no,
he's probably laughing about my like nuts and bolts description of it.
Well,
that's great.
Just the layman. I mean, I think there's something to that stuff. Just me personally, it's like, I don't partake because it goes against my religion. So, but I think there's something to those things. The stars in the sky and etc. There's definitely something there. It is a real thing.
I'm kind of a religious guy, but I'm willing to partake because I'm curious. But I'm also kind of simple. So explain it to me. Like the tarot cards, like I'm aware of them. I've worked with them before. I had a girlfriend in the past I did. And I don't know if I really believe, but I don't know what they like. Okay. Like, what are they and how significant are they? I mean, are they just a bunch of cards, or is it important?
I think some of it boils down to mathematics, right, Jason? In a way,
they can. I mean, there's a lot of symbols. There's a lot of ways of looking at the cards, and how I like to boil it down. It's like the cards. There's in most tarot decks, there's 78 cards. Give or take a few in some decks, but it's like the ones that are based on the Rider-Waite, which is like the most famous, or the one that you see the examples of in movies and all. They represent the full spectrum of human experience. On one end you have the joys, and on the other you have the sufferings. And you have the life and death, and you have like those times that are really good and expansive, and then you have the times that are more limiting, and so within the context, I think it's important about how one reads the cards, because when I was in my early 20s, I was gifted a deck, and then I got a book along with it, and I didn't really dig it because it was too much of a chore, especially using the Celtic cross spread, which is one of the more popular spreads. It was just too cumbersome. It's laborious. It's like it didn't give you a chance to kind of throw yourself into it, as far as like what the cards were saying, and there's a big part of intuition that helps it come alive, and so when I started reading like 10 years ago, I was prepared. I had lived more of life, and I wanted to be more of a help to people, because I've always been a good listener. I've been very observant and all of people's behaviors and patterns. Like what showed me, it's kind of funny, because when I was working the Star Trek conventions, not just being on stage, but working the halls where we have a table set up and people would approach. It's like I would know I would know what frequency, the person was on. And it's like a salesperson can use that,
What do you
right?
mean by
It's like it's
what
a
do you mean
natural
by
gift.
frequency? Like,
It's just about just like knowing where a person is at, right? Like where if they're um, uh, if they're outgoing, if they're shy, just kind of how to open up someone, right? How to make someone comfortable, and so that they're they don't set up that wall, and that can happen in a lot of like just places where it's like, oh great, this person's just going to try to sell me something, right?
okay, now
um,
is there a strict way to read these cards, or is it? You mentioned intuition. It seems like there's a lot of wiggle room for kind of vague explanations of what these cards are.
I'm going to say that in the realm of like the spiritual and religion and all, it's all wiggle room,
That's fair. That's fair.
right? And again, it's like a wizard is going to like just kind of take ownership, right, of their own wiggle. What I'm teaching it, right? I feel that yes, there are like the factory definitions, right? The factory preset definitions of the cards that if you see the Three of Swords, which is like a heart with like three swords like stabbing it,
Right.
that if you say, oh, that means that great love is coming your way, it's like you're bullshitting someone.
Well, what does that card mean? What does the three swords actually mean?
Well, it's a card of heartache. It's a card of frustration.
Divorce
there
is coming
are
your way. Divorce and hardship. More like it, right?
It's no one likes to see it, let's say. I've seen it as tattoos. Oh my God, there was this one reading that I did with this one person, and they pulled that card, and it was like in the middle of their spread there, and she was like, oh yeah, there it is, and she like showed me her hand, and she had that same tattoo, that same image on her hand. And that's like again kind of weird, some of those weird like synchronistic moments that are like, damn.
Hmm?
I mean, I feel bad. It's like, why are you putting that on your hand? I mean, because it's a tough card. It's what I would call one of the
Is
hard.
that worse than putting the name of your lover on your body? Because I've always been told that as far as tattoos go, never get your girlfriend or
Yeah.
boyfriend tattooed on your body because
You'll-
it's
you'll
doomed
split
to
up.
fail. Doomed to
Yeah.
fail.
I mean, I don't have a tattoo one on me. I'm just of the age where it just wasn't in vogue, and I'm not into like pain so much.
I hate needles too.
So I'm not into it. But I admire like really great tattoos, because there's some really fine artists out there,
Yeah.
and some really great tattoos, and I've seen some just like, what the hell,
Just
kind
maybe
of
not face
tattoos, as I'm
tats.
sure.
Just maybe not face tats or neck tats. Neck tats. Dude,
Jeez.
what are you
Or
trying to do?
eyeball tats.
No, you guys are trying too hard. You're trying too hard. But okay, what about? You probably get this quite a bit. But what about the card death? Like, if someone draws the card death, does it mean you're gonna die?
See, that's an amazing card, because it's a card of transformation, and yes,
Well,
if
death is transformation, all right. I mean, you're gonna transform into shit soon.
into
Oh, jeez.
worm food,
Yep.
into ash.
Yep.
It's actually, because of the symbolism there, not everyone who pulls that card is just going to walk out of the building and get struck by a bus, right? And it's the symbolic meaning of the card of transformation. If you think of it as more like the caterpillar that's turning to the butterfly, where one can feel like they're in a place of organic change, where they are moving towards a new version of themselves that's significant. It's always about a significant change. It's not just like changing laundry soaps or getting a new car or something like that. It's not that type of change. It's like interchange. It's like I was an art director for 20 some odd years, and then I became a tarot reader. It's that kind of like that change that one is ready for. Again, it's like my wife, she has I always the word for it, because it's not like she houses them, but she has butterflies. She cultivates them. She has the milkweed. She collects the caterpillars when they turn into the chrysalis, and she'll keep them safe from the elements. And then when they emerge from the casing, they come out, they slide out as butterflies, and it's always an amazing process. She's brought like 1,000 or so into being, and it never gets old, because you get to hold them. You get to hold the monarchs or the swallowtails, and it's just like they have this life force about them that's pretty amazing. But the death card is about how one prepares themselves for it, or if they're trying to hold off, how it is that they are changing. Because with the tarot, it's all about opening up a conversation with someone. Because certainly I'll have those readings where someone just wants to hear what's the future, what's it all about. But when someone is active in a dialogue, right, about what they're going through, and they're able to see these potential alleyways for themselves, these paths to go down, and ones that they're seeing in themselves, when they're seeing how they want to change up a pattern in their life, when they're seeing a greater potential by becoming seeing themselves differently, changing up their vocation, seeing things in a different way. These are active parts of what someone can do to not hold themselves back. And I see a lot of people who will find ways to sabotage their way forward, and it's about making them aware of it so that they can change it up. And so it's very practical. It's not I've had a lot of readers who've read to me in very esoteric ways, where my alpha and omega are going to conjoin, and I'm going to be in a blissful state. And it's just like, what, I like it actually more when there's like a practical application to it, because
that's what I like. I'm a practical
grounded
guy. I like practical applications to things. And I can see that. I can see how some people could see this as being even, I'll say it, therapeutic. And some people, though, may see it as just like a horoscope reading. It's like, okay, thank you. Like when I had a tarot reading at the Ren Fest, that was pretty much a horoscope reading. I mean, the guy, I don't think he really cared so much, but I don't know. It's hard for me to really.
What fest was it?
The Renaissance Festival, the Ren Fest over here in Houston.
Oh yeah.
They always have tarot readings, and we went once, and it was like, oh, you're gonna find wealth and all this stuff. It's like, are we really? Are we gonna find wealth? I was like, I guess I am up for a promotion at the job that I don't work at anymore, but that doesn't matter. I guess so. But it's kind of vague stuff,
Right.
But one thing I will say, though, with all my ex-girlfriends, they always drew the death card, and death card is related to change, and they're all my exes for a reason. There you go. I guess it means something. But I mean, what about for you? What about your experience, Mr. McKean? Like, have you seen where like the cards you draw, and I don't know how you are with your clients if you follow them afterwards, but like, does it seem like it has, like, it really forecasts what's going to happen in their life, or not?
Well, Mr. Deadman, how I see it, it's like not everyone is the same, right?
Right.
Not all of the clients are ones who activate information in such a way that they look to empower their life. And I mean, getting back to the metaphysics, because I think it's important in the context of the tarot. I see where we're co-creators of our life. We're not just in charge. I don't think we create our entire reality, right? I think that there are forces that are above us that have their say. I think the moon, when it's doing its thing, it has it influences the tide, right? And these are not things that are within our realm of control. I think our realm of control is very narrow on the spectrum of all the forces that are out there. I think we have a very small sliver of that we can control, and it's usually through our intention of our conscious intention of how we see ourselves and how we move towards what it is that we look to manifest and bring into our life. And it's like the aspects of wealth, right? It's like one can build towards a career that can have a larger payoff, right? One can potentially have inheritance coming, right? One can play the lottery for all they want. I mean, I don't. I'm not a fan of the lottery, just because it just seems like, if you're looking to activate a larger part of yourself, and I'll say that, it's like by taking the initiative, by doing your podcast and all. I mean, this is where, this is within your realm of control. The guests that you have, they're going to have their say, right? And you can co-create that part of your destiny. God, I forgot what you originally asked, because I started going off.
I was asking
something else.
if your tarot readings for your clients, if they actually forecasted what was going to happen in their life.
Yes, and part of that is not just to forecast something, but to help get them, like, help them pull themselves together in the present, so that they can focus on their goal.
So you can be like a Dr. Phil of tarot reading. You'd be like, you have some problems in your life.
Without the funny voice, right?
But with
Without
the huge penis,
funny
though.
Voice
I take it you have a huge wizard penis.
He's gotten weird. Oh,
Hey, this is going to get weird.
Wizard penis.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's going to get weird? It just got weird.
Already gotten. Yeah. We're there.
Mhm.
We're there.
It's the cigar kicking in, right?
Hey, I mean, come on. You're a wizard. You're a wizard. Of course you are.
You know what? I've heard it all. I've like heard everything under the sun. Just in the work that I do, because the beauty of being a tarot reader as opposed to a psychologist or something is that, it's like people, they just give it to you, like, right.
Oh man, you probably
in the first 5 minutes.
Kinky.
You probably had clients that had problems with their boyfriends or something. Some chick had a problem with her boyfriend. Was like, I'm looking for a reason to break up.
Jeez.
Just looking.
We had a question.
It's always that. Yeah.
We had a question.
But also the opposite of where they want to, like, hang on, right?
Ah.
Because that's a thing too, where people are not ready. to break up, and they're trying to put off the pain of of that. So
Well,
it's
like, you're not married yet, so you still have time to break up. Break up now while you can.
let me ask
Okay.
you, though, Jason. Jakarta Future wants to know if their next relationship will be with Angel Lucas Carter.
So is this how the show is going? Now it's a I'll look.
It's a question
I'll
thing.
look as an example, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what comes up.
Okay. I was not planning a live.
Only question that we've gotten recently. So hey,
I was not planning a live tarot reading. The other question was, what's the source of the power? I guess we can kind of answer what's the source of the power while drawing the cards, I guess. But what is the source of the power? Is there a source?
The source of the power.
Source of the
I've got the power. You know, the source that I pull on. You know, my definition of the universe or so, it's not like a specific deity, and what I do is I personally have a mantra that I pull on, or I guess in tone, right? It's not the Om, which is like another mantra that I'll do, but it's the acronym of it is CHO, CHO, which stands for clarity, humility, opportunity, and so it's just about me being clear in my messaging. It's about being humble and knowing that I am just a part of the process of the intuition of I am drawing on the universe, the energy, that spiritual connection, and the opportunity to be of service, and again that opportunity can open up to where it's readings or it's teaching, or I can be talking with a couple of lovely gents and another person who I pulled 3 cards for, and none of the cards. I look at the energy of each one, and also if each card is like a musical note, then they build towards a composition when they are put together. And the energy, I'll tell you the cards: the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and the 3 of Wands.
Well, I do have a bunch of cups on my desk. I have a cup of water, a cup of scotch, cup of that's a can of beer.
These cards, the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, they're ones where they point to an issue of where maybe one of the persons involved is not fully on board with the other. There can be some dissatisfaction, right? And where the 5 of Cups is a card of letting go, of being able to not just be fixated on that one person in order to find like that partnership, that give and take, the beauty of complementing one another, like Kaibos and his wife have. So I'm not seeing where that's a relationship that is
that
moving.
means Future needs to let go. Just let go.
Yeah, and keep the horizons open there. It's like the 3 of Wands. It's like there's this woman who is looking towards another shore, just past a body of water and looking at the next shore, and it's a card of longing, and it's where this person may not just have all that it takes to fulfill them and to complement them. So keep it open. Don't settle for that which can bring you future pain.
So
So
Jakari,
that's
Jakari, the future don't settle on Angel Lucas Carter. You can do better. Is that what I'm getting?
not that it's
Don't
better,
settle
right?
for anyone less than Angel Lucas Carter. That's what I.
It's about where the connection, right? It's like, sometimes we're sold on someone who is, they're there. It's like they check a lot of boxes, right?
Hmm.
But they may not be the the one who is like totally in our best interest.
Yeah.
And I that middle card is the most problematic, that Five of Cups, because sometimes we just get fixated on the person and not the quality of how they hold our love, how they, because love is a gift that we give to someone else, and when it's a cup, because it's a receptacle, and when they're able to hold that love, then it's like fully, it's secure, right? But when it tips over, like in the Five of Cups, where the cups start to tip over, it's like that person is not able to fully
Wow.
just respect us, hold us, in the uh, in the light that we would hope, and so we don't get fixated on the person. That happens a lot.
I like how in depth you
And
get on
sometimes
this. I like this. I was watching your YouTube videos before doing this. I was aware how in depth you do, but this is nice.
He's a really interesting guy. I always was glad that I met Jason. Really cool dude. Does a lot of neat stuff.
Yeah, and it's like every reader's different. Like the Ren Fair reader, it's like maybe they weren't giving you the full treatment, right? Maybe they were hot in the tent or whatever that they
Yeah,
were doing the thing.
that's a theme park
It's
too.
like
That's a
next,
theme park,
next.
and I don't know who really backs the Ren Fair. I hear it has Disney ties. I'm not sure, but
Oh, jeez.
they're doing a service. It's people come in and come out, come in and come out. I'm sure they're just kind of, they might just be going through the motions at that point. I don't know. I wouldn't blame them if they were, you know. But yeah. So I mean, I don't know if tarot cards really have a if it necessarily forecasts per se, but it's definitely interesting. It's interesting. So
You can use them in that manner, right? You can look
right.
at the past. You can look at the future. You can look at the present, and it's like my creed, or is to um, look at patterns. If someone, if their present pattern is not working for them, then it has to be changed up, right? It has
Right,
to
right. You gotta change it up. What's
go,
not working?
but the person has to be aware that, it's like when you're conscious about your patterns, you're able to just step back a little bit and see um, more of the bigger picture.
There you
And
go.
sometimes that aspect of the picture on the card can speak volumes to someone, who feels like they're just kind of locked into a pattern. They might see like the
Hmm.
Nine of Swords or something, which is like that person who's sitting up out of bed, and they're worrying, they're having that 3 o'clock in the morning dread, and they're just like racing through their mind. Well, what if
Gotcha.
this happens and then that happens? And, in that place of anxiety and fear, it's like, if you start to, see, oh my God, I'm doing that to myself, then you can start to change it up. You can start to catch yourself.
Okay. Now, Mr. McKean, we have three other topics. I don't know. We have
Damn,
past life
Oh,
regression,
you guys are
past
putting
life
me
regression
through it.
in horror, past life
Uh,
regression in horror, and afterwards is the caption contest that I need to remember to do because I do that every Friday. At least I try to. But I have a horrible memory, and I do. If I don't write it down, I'm going to forget. Now, past life regression.
Wait. What are
You
you
say
calling it?
aggression.
Past
It's
It
life
sounds like
regression.
correction,
sounds like
regression,
aggression.
aggression, regression,
Past
regression,
life regression. You go in the
aggression.
past and
Regression.
see
I'm mad about my past life. I'm
that.
pissed off about it.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
god.
What a noob.
Regression, regression. What is that?
It's where you
Uh,
regress, where you go back into the past. It's where you go backwards when you regress.
But is that a
And
thing that actually happens, or is that like?
okay,
Uh,
so okay, you're let me explain it. As far as the process that I do, and it's kind of the common one. If you go to like anyone who's going to do a past life regression on you, give or take, there might be some variables, but as far as where it is a hypnotic state, right?
okay.
You are put into an altered state, and being in a hypnotic state, that's as natural as when you fall asleep at night. You start off in beta, which is like consciousness, and then you start slipping into alpha. You go through theta and then delta. Delta is deep sleep. That's when you go to sleep. When you're in a hypnotic state, when you're watching a movie, right? When you're at a movie theater and you're like really into it, and it's like it's happening. That whole story is coming alive in your head. You're in a hypnotic state, and it can be mostly like an alpha state. And alpha is like the widest range on the spectrum, because you can have light alpha, you can go to deep alpha. If you go into theta, that's when you start having visions. That's when you start, going into like awakened dreaming and
What if you go
hypnagogic.
into a beta state? Is that good? A beta state?
Theta is like the state that you're in normally.
Beta sucks. Then you want to go into alpha state.
Well, alpha can be, you can get a little bit dreamy, daydreamy, right? And if you have the ability, like when you're writing, to go into this state where you're just in it, and hours pass, and then you just like kind of come out of it and you go, oh my god, it's like 5 hours passed. I was so in it, I didn't have like the that wherewithal of time passing and all. So if you're able to do that, then that's like a really great creative state. That's where most of the deepest creativity can be
Definitely.
brought to the surface.
I follow you on that. Now,
I'll be back in just a few minutes.
how does that relate to past life regression though?
So what happens in the past life regression, it's like you're in this hypnotic state, and with hypnosis, one is highly suggestible. By putting you into an altered state, you become very suggestible. Your body is relaxed, your mind is awake. It's like if you're with someone who is unethical and wants to induct you into a cult, that's about that time, right? That they can like start to program you and all to like be in a to change things up. It's that's like it's not that easy. It's as far as like with cults and all, that's usually a many days process of breaking you down. But when you join the army and all, it's like boot camp. It's like they break you down so that they can rebuild you, right? And that's done through repetition and mind control. But with hypnosis, just a past life regression, takes you into a relaxed state. You can go into a, let's say, down a flight of stairs and into a fog bank, and then the suggestion is that you are now going back into the past. You're in the past, and there's a good hypnotist. They won't tell you where you're going, just that you're going back, and then it's like they say, okay, when I count to 10, you're there. What do you see? And then sometimes it takes a little bit of just kind of getting your bearings, right? There might be just like little flashes. I find that it's depends on the individual. As far as I've done group regressions where I'll have 20 people in the room,
Mm.
and some people go in super deep. They're seeing stuff instantly. Others, they become afraid. That's the other end of the spectrum. People will they'll just start to get feel fear, and they won't go any further. And then the in between is like all sorts of different experiences, and some are ones of where they experience something that's fearful, where that fear has now come into their present life, and it's something that they're dealing with now. Sometimes it's a gift or a talent that was activated in a life, and now they're pursuing that in this life. So it's a wide range of things, and the regressionist doesn't uh, say this is what you're going to experience.
Now, how do you know whether or not someone's bullshitting you on their I guess regression? Because I'm just saying, because from my experience, of course, I'm sure we all know that a lot of people claim that in their past life they were probably like a princess or prince or something of nobility, right? But like, so how do you know if someone's bullshitting you on that?
Um, the vast majority of them are not royalty, are not Cleopatra.
Oh,
I
good.
what's really fascinating, it's like the ones that I've been doing recently in this time of the quarantine, the lockdown, and all the great pause, the reset, however you want to call it. Um, a lot of people have been going to these mundane lifetimes, maybe where they're on the prairie or something,
Mm.
and each day is kind of like the same, right? And their life it's a very like small life. It's like they're maybe a housewife or something, or they're watching the kids, and their man comes home, and they've got to make dinner, and all, day after day after day after day, and and where they may be feeling like they're drawing upon that to to help them now, where their lives have been limited, right? Where they're not going out into the world, they're not going to movies, they're
Mm.
not doing social functions and all. It's very much like a routine that they're having in their homes, and so it's a reflection of a time now, but it's showing them that they can get through it, right? Like that they don't need a swashbuckling adventure, to they don't need excitement, they don't need that they can just live in a more mundane routine, and just survive.
Okay, so you can call them out, like if like, can you tell whether or not they're bullshitting you?
Well, when you say that, as far as like, um, it, there's always an inclination when, not always. I'll say that. But but there are a number of people who feel like they're making it up. When they're having a harder time just kind of like starting, or if it doesn't come in full like IMAX 3D vision, they're just getting snippets, and it's just like, okay, well, let's just follow that and see where that opens up. They can sometimes feel like they're making it up, almost as if they were a writer, or like a script writer,
Right.
and it's like, okay, and then I'm going to create this, and yet invariably, uh, part of the instruction is to not get in your own way of that, right? If you feel like you're making it up, just keep going with it. Is don't let the editor in you start to put fine points on it. It's like, as a writer, if you just uh, let it all out, right? Just
Hmm.
write it, right? It's like, you have the luxury of editing it later. So you don't have to just say, oh no, that's dumb, I'm not going to do that. You just let it out, and you keep the creative wheel moving, turning, right?
Can you
And
imagine?
so
Like, do you get this where like someone has like a past life of being like a, I don't know, like a slave owner or I don't know, like a Nazi? you
yeah,
know, that would be something to talk
yeah,
about. You know, they might not
yeah.
be bullshitting you with that one. Be like, you okay? Let's let's talk.
Well, you seem pretty racist.
But sometimes again, it's like, one, I feel that there's balance, right? And sometimes uh, the person who does something that's cruel or hard in one life, it's like they're not happy with themselves, and so they will put themselves in situations that um, maybe they have to experience like a reconciliation, with that. I mean, it's the basis of that word karma, right? That we hear a lot. Karma's a bitch, right? And it's that
She is. I've
where
seen her
where
strip.
one has to
I'm sorry. I'm just joking.
where one has to balance out, the actions of the past, and actions that can be hard like that. And I think everyone's guilty of it, right? Everyone in their past has had a lifetime where they've had power, and how one uses that power, if they misuse it, that we need to recalibrate it within ourselves, because we'll punish ourselves, and we can. I've seen people who continually punish themselves, and when you get down to what's at the core of that, there are actions that it's really hard to forgive themselves over, and through past life regression, one can start to begin that process of forgiving oneself, and recognizing that there are ways to do things better, so that you don't have to be the same person that you were in the past. And that can be a very healing process as well. I mean, that's how I use it, because it's in my name.
Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Kai, do you have any questions about that? Any thoughts?
No, not really. Not that I
Okay.
can think of.
Shift gears real fast. Hard. Now, this is a horror themed podcast. You might not. I don't. I don't.
Let's see this thing from my show that I've been watching. Do you watch horror, Jason?
Of course.
What's your take?
Well, I've watched a lot of things. Actually, after I made Grease Track, I was like looking for another project to do, but something shorter. And so, me and my friend Richard Christian Matheson, we did a movie. It's on YouTube. I'll send you a clip of it afterwards.
Oh
It's
yeah,
called
please.
Shockers. And his dad, Richard Matheson, wrote a lot of the original Twilight Zones, and
Oh wow.
uh, and so he wrote one that was like a Twilight Zone, but it was a little bit har- hardcore, a little bit more edgy and a little bit more bloody and all. And so I produced it. I put it all together and all, and it was all blue screen and and all. And it's like it's dated because it's a flip phone that we use in it. And who uses a flip phone anymore? So it was must have been like 2008 or something like that we did it. But it was a lot of fun, doing the production on that. And then so I've done my share of horror, and again, a lot of my friends are horror writers.
Do
That's
you
right.
think, Jason, or not Jason? Sorry, JC. You should be able to get away with just playing the first part of that clip was only like what, like
The
15
way, I know
or a few seconds.
the way YouTube is with copyright stuff. I didn't want to risk,
You
especially live
think they'll
stream.
flag it? Yeah,
Yeah, but
right.
So Caiaphas
Have you
shared-
watched that yet, Jason? I've been watching Ju-On Origins on Netflix.
Mhm.
It's like the Grudge origin, and of
Oh.
course the Japanese are like so over the top with their horror. It's really good.
Yeah, it's fun, and it can be really very different too. It can unsettle you in many ways.
Oh, yeah,
That
that's what I like about it.
like Western horror, it can be predictable.
Now, the clip he showed me, I haven't seen Ju-On Origins yet. I saw Ju-On, of course, but this thing's crazy. There's a baby that crawls towards this guy, this Japanese dude, and like the baby crawls up his body, and he's like terrifying. Like the way they do dread and just pure, just being terrified is really good. But the baby crawls up his body and into his mouth. And this is a bloody looking baby, and
Wow.
it is going into his mouth.
Well, the crazy part is it's really like, okay, fine, it's a baby. It's really a fetus though, because the guy just the night before killed his wife because he found out that she actually got pregnant by like an old lover or whatever. So he cuts her stomach open and takes out the fetus and then goes and buries it in the backyard of the guy that was the real father before he turns himself into the cops. And then, of course, okay, there he's in jail, and then the thing's crawling up him and down his throat. It's like
that is sick.
Crazy.
That is good. I like that.
That sounds gnarly.
I like it when movies go all the way like that. I mean, and the Japanese, they are good at doing that. I don't know how they do it, but they are so good at doing that. And it's very bloody, very disgusting looking, but of course it's shaded just right, just the right lighting, shaded with the shadow.
Well, it was a show for the record, but yeah, how they do stuff in general is pretty intense.
Yeah, very good stuff. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
The Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone.
Is that considered a horror movie?
I imagined it. I mean,
I would think like a mix between horror and thriller. When you guys say,
and also supernatural. Where he
Yeah.
is like given the gift of sight there, but that gift it also takes from him as far as his physicalness. There's just something about it. I mean, it's like with movies. It's a collaboration between what you're seeing, but also the sound, the music, and it's as far as David Cronenberg directed it, and he did The Fly, which was a good one with Goldblum, and
I love that.
but there was something about just the whole like mix of the sadness to it. It's just like it's always just struck me as a very poignant film.
that is a good example. That is a good one. The Dead Zone, definitely The Fly as well. Man, with all the guests that come on, normally it's usually like The Exorcist or Alien, but I like when I get a guest that says something different. The Dead Zone. The Dead Zone. That's a good one.
Right. Stephen King's the master, man.
He is.
What was crazy about the newer It movies is that they kind of goofed up with that. Not to get off tangent, but they didn't shoot them both at once, and then it's like then they had to do digital stuff to make the kids look younger. It's like, okay, well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sure you both have seen it by now, right? Or
I didn't see the second one. I don't know. I guess
I
should
haven't
watch it.
seen a lot of movies. I've been, when you're self-employed, it's like I find that I work like 12 hours a day. I'm working on something, and it's like my wife sometimes likes a good horror movie, but she gets so upset, she's like kind of wrecked for a few days afterwards. So it's like but she likes them, I mean, she's the one who like, hey, let's watch this, and it's like, oh, are you sure, you're gonna like be out of it for a couple of days. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, now I got to do this caption contest because if I don't, I'm going to forget. Caption contest.
Right.
It is a Friday show. So I'm going to go and screen share. Sorry.
Did you say scream?
I did.
Scream share?
It's been
I always love sharing screams.
a few
That's
glasses of scotch already. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and share the screen here. I think I might have sent you the image already, McKean. But anyway, it's the chick with the axe and a cigarette. So I shared this post and Horror Nation, which I like that group. But I'm going to go with the comments in the Deadmanstone fan club because I mean they're in that group and I got to take care of them, right? And they're going to win. They're going to win a bag of secrets. They're going to win a bag of secrets.
Whoa. Wait,
Hillary's
what are they
emails.
winning?
A bag of secrets. it could be anything. It could be
secrets.
It could be my secrets. Could be Kybus's secrets. Could be Hillary's deleted
Could be
emails. I have
wizard
no idea.
secrets.
Wizard secrets. Yeah. Okay.
There.
So,
You know what? I'm a vault of secrets. I mean, I know like just all this information, right? And it's about how that was kind of the hardest thing to just like clear myself from, so that I could be that vault, and and just be okay with it all, and
the thing with vaults though is that they have a combination, and usually with me, it's the drink. It's like oh.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway,
a couple shots of them.
Yeah. And
take over
Mr.
the
Deadman,
show.
you said you didn't like this person. I never said I didn't like that person. What are you talking about? No, I'm good.
I love that person. I love you.
It depends on what I'm drinking.
Right.
Okay. So straight up, just going down the comments here, Natalie Brown, she says, when cousin says he wants to wear a condom. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna read these out, and you guys pretty much judge which one's the best one.
Do we have to? Can we create our own?
We can. What's your comment? What do you got? You got one?
I was gonna say we need cigarettes, Jeb, but I ain't wearing no mask.
My comment is Lizzie Borden is my favorite poet.
I like that one.
Nice.
All right. So Natalie Brown, she says, when cousin says he wants to wear a condom. No laughs. Brian Kraft says, got a light. Laughs. No laughs. I'm judging this based on laughs, guys.
These are some dips. I don't know.
Okay. Next one is where's that damn tree? I don't know. Robert just posted
That's
a GIF.
obvious.
Can't do a GIF. James Longmore, hey Bobby Lou, Mama needs some lovin'. I mean,
Reminds me of the chick from the movie with Samuel L. Jackson, where she's like he's got her chained up and she's acting all crazy.
Black Mama Moan, or no, Moan, right? Black Snake.
Yeah, this is trailer park moan.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
The other person, how cousins split up in the South.
See, now that one has like
split up. Yeah,
it's okay. That like splitting rails kind of
thing. That's the winner of this group. That's the winner. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's the one that made you guys laugh. One? That's the last one. There's only 6 comments in our group.
That was pretty clever.
I did share it in the Horror Nation group. There was a lot of comments there, but the only winners are gonna be those that are in the Deadmanstone group. I gotta tell you, I gotta take care of my own. I gotta take care of my own. Maybe what will happen is tomorrow, if I'm feeling right, enough beers in me, I'll look over the other ones and be like, this is the best one, and I might give them a free T-shirt. Who knows? Sometimes they get generous. Who knows? And
somebody said here, use this for my C-section.
I like that. Okay.
I'm concerned because over, at the bottom there it says guest Jason McKean, and people who are just tuning into it, they might think that that's me.
Well,
I guess that's okay.
That's you now. It's 2020, McKean. That's okay. You could come out as a woman if you want to. It's okay.
Right.
But
With
you
an
have to-
axe.
But the problem is you don't
As
have
a
the
woman with
beard. You don't have the beard, so that's not you.
And I don't smoke. That's the
Uh-huh.
main problem.
Right?
I don't smoke.
Here's McKean. You got the rockin' beard, dude. You got the rockin' beard.
That's a real butterfly. None of these photos have been photoshopped. You know, that's a swallowtail that my wife placed on my head, and it was doing a mind meld with me. It was sending its wisdom into my head.
Nice. Did it have like the winning lotto numbers or anything?
Yeah.
No.
Dang it.
No,
There's
it's like,
a
you'd hope
butterfly
that.
lotto.
Oh man. Okay. Well, guys, I remember to do the caption contest. Look. Okay. Anyway,
I
Mr.
wasn't
McKean-
gonna let you forget. I wrote it down.
Thank you. I wrote it down
I was
too.
still-
I think Kybus did too as well. All right,
Yeah.
McKean, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking to us. I think I learned a lot. I think I did, especially about metaphysics. At least more.
I
Maybe
hope
not
so.
so much.
I mean, it's we'll see how much you retain.
We'll
You know,
see.
see how much the whiskey was like, how much it retained, and how much if
Oh.
those brain cells are still intact in the morning.
The whiskey learned a lot. That much. Like wizards, it's not like the lightning bolts. You know, it's like
It's not those lightning bolts.
no. It's like knowledge.
Oh,
It's-
before we let you go, I gotta ask, okay? Of the three, Jason,
Gandalf.
Merlin.
No, Merlin.
Well, Merlin, Gandalf, or Dumbledore.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. There's I mean, various friends and all that, they associate me with certain ones. So, I'm fine with any of them, in that context. But, there's something about the Arthurian
Mhm.
that always pulls me in. And, Merlin he's one savvy dude, he, I think he's maybe the wisest of them. So I dig him the most.
I respect that.
And there's on my Instagram I post these photos of these stalactites, these ice calibers that rise from my ice cube tray, and it's the lady of the lake. She is in my freezer, and it's like we're looking for a new king, right? It's like the land is without a king, and I as a wizard am kind of charged with letting that information out there so that a new king can rise to the occasion. But these they can be like 2 inches. These ice calibers that rise up out of the ice cube tray. It's amazing. And so I know that I'm connected to the Lady of the Lake. So
I wish I
would
was
say,
connected to the Lady of the Lake. Oh, I shouldn't say that too loud. I'm a married man.
Right?
My wife is the Lady of the
Say-
Lake.
what?
Mm. How about that? Anyway, thank you so much, Mr. McKean.
I thank you, Mr. Deadman.
And
Mr.
Kybus?
Deadman.
Kybus, thank you so
And
much for coming on. I was a little worried for a second, but no, I'm not worried, man. You're good. You're good. I say co-host and training, but he's doing good. He's doing well. Anyway,
I love having people on. Jason was a great guest, so thank you so much, man. You're definitely welcome back.
For having me. I totally enjoyed myself. And I'll send you the clip of my horror short there.
oh, that'd be
And
cool.
hopefully you'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
should definitely bring you back on to maybe talk even more about horror. I mean, that's one thing I'd definitely like to dig into. But anyway, guys, ladies, thank you so much for watching. Press the like button, share, subscribe. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed, leave a rating or comment. That helps. Y'all take it easy.